Hey everyone, in today's video we'll be checking out the progress of Montreal's Réseau Express Métropolitain Automated Metro project, also known as the REM. The first section of the project was opened at the end of July, with most of the project scheduled to be open by the end of 2024. The airport branch is scheduled to open in 2027, but is also progressing well. I visited every station last month when I was in Montreal for the opening of the first section of the REM, and it's clear that the stations are relatively far along. All of the stations have a very similar design language, which makes them easily recognizable, but each branch tends to have slightly different characteristics. The first section of the REM was officially opened on July 31st, 2023, in the South Shore across the river from Montreal. The 5-station line has been operating since then. It has had a couple minor challenges, but continues to operate reliably. The opening meant the removal of the majority of bus service from the Samuel de Champlain Bridge, as most buses are contractually obligated to feed riders into the REM. One more station in this section is planned to open once most of the system is operational, sometime after 2024. The station is Griffintown Bernard Laundry, which will be located a little less than a kilometer south of Gare Centrale and serve part of the Old Montreal and Griffintown area. The current terminus of the line at Gare Centrale has been designed for a high number of riders and also includes long tail tracks, which will soon continue north to the under construction McGill Station. Very little construction can be seen from street level for McGill Station, but work on the station includes the platforms, concourse, and the connections to the Montreal's Green Line. The Metro is moving towards a numbered system, so the Green Line will soon be referred to as Line 1. I'm also a big fan of the artwork decorating the panels surrounding the construction site. It's a nice touch that should be done more often. Moving under Mont-Royal to Edouard Montpetit Station, the entrance building is very visible with glass paneling on the walls of the station entrance. The station design reminds me a lot of the Eglinton Crosstown stations back in Toronto. Situated on Mont-Royal and over 70 meters deep, the station will have a long series of elevators, escalators, and stairs to get from ground level to the REM platforms. A similar journey with the addition of another underground passageway to the current metro station will provide a transfer to the Blue Line or Line 5. Kenora Station is located on Jean Talon and connects the tunneled and outdoor sections of the REM. The station building is progressing with glass paneling along much of the exterior completed. Continuing along the trench that will carry REM trains, tracks are being installed throughout, and the poles for overhead wires have started to be installed too. The support beams for noise walls have also started to be installed, although the noise walls themselves haven't been installed in this section yet. At Ville de Mont-Royal Station, a new park is currently being built across from the station entrance, and the site is fairly flat. The new park is expected to be open in the spring. The station building itself looks largely complete from the outside, with the majority of paneling and accent coloring installed. The platform edge doors have also been installed, and tracks outside of the station are built too. The color and design of Ville de Mont-Royal Station is very nice and fits in well with the surrounding area, which easily makes it my favorite station on the network. A small section along the ground level route has had noise walls put in, but the majority of the area has not had them installed yet. Continuing along the line is the massive Côte de Liesse station, which will feature 3 REM platforms and an in-station transfer to EXO's Mascouche line. Platform edge doors have been installed, and the majority of exterior paneling along the station walls is complete. And going past the REM platforms, the canopy supports for the EXO platform can also be seen. Montpellier Station is also starting to look close to being completed from the exterior, with paneling, platform edge doors, and some entrance doors installed. Work inside the station includes aesthetic details, electrical, and elevators. Ruisseau Station is progressing well, with much of the paneling complete and landscaping outside of the station in full force. Overhead wires that will power the trains have also been put up around the station. In between Du Rousseau and Bois Franc, noise walls have started to be installed along the rail corridor, and some overhead wires have been put up as well. At the last station on the main line, Bois Franc is also moving forward with landscaping. Glass paneling around the building has been installed too, and overhead wires are up in this section as well. A few kilometers from Bois Franc station, the elevated guideway splits off and separates the Du Montagne branch from the airport and West Island branches. The elevated guideway is largely complete, with tracks being installed. Similar to parts of the South Shore section, there are yellow strips where the guideway crosses over the highway, which is a nice touch from below and inside the trains. Once the guideway reaches the Trans-Canada Highway, the airport branch splits off from the West Island branch. The elevated guideway goes south along Alfred Nobel Boulevard and gradually gets lower to the ground. The elevated guideway is largely complete, although overhead wires have not been put up. The tunnel portal bringing trains from the elevated structure into the tunnels is also structurally complete. At Marie Curie Station, the only station on this branch that isn't at the airport, some work is taking place to build the structure of the station itself, but the majority of work at the site is focused on building the tunnels towards Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport. YUL Aéroport Montréal Trudeau Station is scheduled to open in 2027 and is currently in the relatively early stages of station construction, but the main hole for the station site has been dug. Work is still focused on removing the tunnel boring machines and completing all tunneling works before the platform construction can start. The second branch of the REM will bring riders to the West Island with 5 stations serving industrial and residential areas, along with the major mall and several bus connections. After the split from the airport branch, A2 runs parallel to Hymas Boulevard with a station at Sources Boulevard. At Des Sources Station, glass paneling along the exterior is progressing well, and ventilation equipment is being installed at the front of the building. Overhead catenary wires have also started to be put up on the elevated guideway. At Fairview Point Claire Station, construction of the station building and bus terminal is well underway. Not all finishes for the station have been installed yet, but the station is still progressing well. Ventilation ducts and entranceways are still being built, but the majority of exterior glass for the bus terminal is installed. The new bus terminal at the station will provide a much nicer alternative to the older bus terminal at Fairview Mall, but given the few hundred meters between the station and mall, I hope the bus connection between the two is kept. Similarly, Kirkland Station has had the majority of exterior panels installed, as well as platform edge doors, but the interior still has work that needs to be done. Finally, leading up to Anse-Salorme Station, overhead catenary wires have been put up. Much of the station building has been completed, although some areas still need work, but the main part of the station that still needs to be built is the bus terminal. The small maintenance building at the end of the branch next to Anse-Salorme Station also looks complete from the outside. The facility will be able to store trains overnight, allowing for earlier start times in the morning. The last branch of the project will bring the REM into Laval and serve mainly residential areas. Shortly after the split from A2 and A3, the Du Montagne branch will go through Bois de Liesse Natural Park, where rail and catenary poles have been installed. The new bridge in the park is designed very nicely and doesn't feel like it imposes on the natural area at all. The first station on the branch is Sunnybrook, where the structure has been built and glass paneling has just started, although still in very early stages. Platform edge doors have not been installed yet here. It's a very interesting perspective to see the frame of the station without any of the finishes built. The next station is Pierrefonds-Roxborough, which similarly does not have any exterior panels installed, but the structure has been built, including staircases. Platform edge doors have also been installed. Noise walls are being installed along the section of track near the station. The first station in Laval is Ile de Gras, where exterior works such as platform edge doors and glass panels are almost complete. Paving for the parking area has also been completed, but grass, trees, and other vegetation still needs to be planted. Crossing into the main island, the line continues to St. Dorothy Station, where glass panels have been installed, but work near the entrance is still underway. Just south of the station, a bit of blue paneling has been installed above a bridge, similar to the yellow strips above highways on other sections of the network. Dirt has been poured along the rail corridor between Ile-Bigras and St. Dorothy, and plants will likely be added soon or after winter. Crossing over the Rivière des Mille Îles, the bridge for the REM is almost complete, although overhead wires and rail are not fully installed. Tracks have been installed at Grand Moulin Station though, and the two station buildings are mostly paneled off. Most of the work left will be inside the station and around the entrances. The road bridge above the rail corridor is also new, as the road rail crossing couldn't be kept. A protected bidirectional bike path has been built on the bridge, which is especially impressive considering that this is being built in a very suburban area where sidewalks are rare. The final station on the REM is Dumontagne, and the station has had some paneling work completed, although there is still more to be done. Platform edge doors and some overhead wires have also started to be put in. The bus terminal hasn't been built yet, and buses are currently using a very temporary terminal in the parking lot. While not visible from the station, the tracks continue a little over 1 kilometer to a maintenance and storage facility for the trains. To finish off the video, I'd like to remind everyone that the REM only started construction 5 years ago and is almost ready to open 2 of the 3 branches, not to mention that the first phase has been open for a month. I also want to apologize for the pronunciations in this video, as I'm sure some of them weren't perfect. Even ignoring that other than the SkyTrain, the project is pioneering automated metros in North America, the project is bringing other benefits such as new cycling and pedestrian connections, transit-oriented development, much faster travel times, and lots of elevated rail to Montreal. As I was filming this video, it took hours to travel on buses from station to station, but with the REM, those same trips will take under an hour. Needless to say, I'm very excited about the next phases of the REM, and with the majority of stations close to being completed and the rail corridor construction well underway, I doubt that it will be long before we're able to ride it. Thanks for watching.